Something's happening with Konami and the Metal Gear IP, and there's rumors swirling around that it could be licensed out. So there's this crazy rumor swirling around right now that the Metal Gear Solid IP is being licensed out by Konami, and this comes hot off of the heels that Kojima is in talks currently with Xbox to bring over his next game as an Xbox ecosystem exclusive. Before we get into this any further, if you guys are new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, I would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community so we can have great conversations in the comments below. If we all remember with Metal Gear Solid 5, it was surrounded by a ton of drama between Kojima and Konami as the game was released and the final chapter was missing, and Kojima left Konami and left the Metal Gear Solid IP behind, thinking that, hey, this is probably the end of the series because Konami isn't going to give it out back to Kojima, or at least end of the series from a Kojima made Metal Gear Solid. But it looks like these rumors are bringing it back into the headlines as the Metal Gear Solid IP is, based off of the rumors, potentially up for grabs, and it could be related to the Microsoft Kojima talks that have been going on, where Kojima is making his next game for Microsoft if they make a deal. And that would be something that would be just absolutely insane to think about if Kojima signs with Xbox to make his next game, to put it on Game Pass and put it within the Xbox ecosystem as an exclusive. And then if somehow Microsoft scoops up the Metal Gear Solid IP and he makes a Metal Gear Solid game for Xbox, would be something that I think just absolutely would just stir the entire industry up, and it would be super fun and interesting to see what happens. Now, this latest rumor comes by the way of ACG on the HAM Radio podcast, and let's just listen to what he says. He doesn't like say that, oh, it's gonna be signed by Microsoft. He doesn't say any of that stuff. He's just kind of hinting at obviously stuff that he has heard.
Who owns the Konami IP, or who owns the IP for Metal Gear? Konami does, right?
Apparently they're licensing it out.
Yeah, apparently they are.
Apparently they are.
Wow.
Scoop.
No, I'm just saying.
I mean,
the
stars
really,
are aligning. That's for goddamn
dude. Somebody else said stuff online. It's probably the person you're reporting on, and that was right after I talked to Dustin. I was like, dude, X-nay. And so I'm just gonna let everybody handle their stuff and see what happens.
So there you have it. Obviously doesn't say anything in depth or anything like that, but just hinting at the fact that the Metal Gear Solid IP is getting licensed out is going to make crazy headlines, especially after this is literally coming out that we're hearing that Kojima is in talks with Xbox to make his next game. And we've already heard like slight rumors. I made a video on this previously where people thought that there was something going on between Konami and Xbox. So I mean, there's just a lot to take in and think about if any of this were ever to come true. But furthermore to this, ACG actually went on to Reddit, and he went on the thread here, which is Gaming Leaks and Rumors, and he clarified what he was saying. It's in this thread here, but I'll read it off of the website, and it says here, "The person who told me this has been with me since Far Cry Primal leaks, and mostly has been right, from Bethesda moving to 0-day review code, and this year to Deathloop, Bloodlines, Dragon's Dogma 2 leak, Xbox Game Boost work, and a couple more this year. I was simply stating I had heard from a source the same that informed of the Xbox Boost, the Deathloop delay, Bloodlines, and other stuff I had talked about as saying this happening, and that Metal Gear itself was in some way up for grabs, which then popped up in this discussion about Kojima. You guys should know I am not a huge Kojima follower as a person and don't work on personal leaks really ever, as I find it a bit creepy. That source has been reliable all this year, so I said it. I don't have the time to really discuss BS, so I don't repeat most, but they were right about Bloodlines stuff, Deathloop stuff, so I figured it was worthy." And that's a great clarification. It's pretty awesome that he went onto that Reddit thread and just kind of brought everybody back in and allowing them to know why he actually said that on the podcast. And basically he's hearing through the people that he knows who have been right on other rumors that the Metal Gear IP is up for grabs, and there's a lot of money floating around in the industry right now where people are buying stuff, people are creating partnerships, there's just crazy stuff going on. I wouldn't be surprised if Konami is trying to cash in on licensing out the Metal Gear IP, because I think right now you're selling that IP, you're licensing it out at a higher value than probably what it's worth, with the hype and everything going around with the industry, with companies like Sony and Microsoft seeing the money being spent and trying to compete in order to be on top. So now is the time, if you're somebody who's trying to create a partnership, trying to sell an IP, trying to license out an IP, you're going to make the most amount of money. So it's crazy to think about, but if this were to come true, let's say Microsoft does acquire the Metal Gear IP, they do sign Kojima for his next game, and the next game is going to be a new Metal Gear Solid game on the Xbox ecosystem. It would be one of the craziest events, I think, in the gaming industry. I know it's only one game and it's only one developer, but just because of how much Kojima has meant to Japan, how much Kojima has meant to PlayStation, it would be insane, the waves that go through the industry. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here to see it. It would be funny to see, because you would have the crazy fanboys getting really pissed off about this. But at the end of the day, let's say this happens, it comes to Xbox Game Pass on day one. It's a win for everybody. You're going to be able to sign up to Xbox Game Pass, and you're going to be able to see and play this game for $15 a month or whatever. And then you're going to really see that the power that Xbox Game Pass has, which is just increasing competition, increasing the value for gamers. And this generation, I've said this in previous videos, I said this on my podcast, I think this is going to be the best generation when it comes to gaming, with the amount of value that we're getting for the money that we're spending. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you like what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow, help grow this community, so we can have a great conversation in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.